Fun. Yeah. Thanks for joining me, Jack. And, I saw this trailer or teaser, from Steven Spielberg, and I said, oh, my goodness. It gave me the willies. And I said, let's talk about it. So here we are. And by the way, I like your hat. That's pretty nice. Podcast UFO. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Check it out. Check it out. Not bad.
But anyway, thanks for joining me. So, this came out just the other day. I sent it to you right away. What do you think about it? I mean, it's so intriguing, that we're just going to go. I'm not even going to take your answer. I'm just going to play this trailer.
Sure.
I did get a hold of, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. I did try to reach out to the publicist to see if we had permission to play this. We don't have any special permission as of yet, but here it goes.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Let's today is today's
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. So I'm going to show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world. All at once.
People keep wondering. Encountering the unknown. They're coming! They're coming! They are starved for the truth.
Do you think there could be others?
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us?
I got to say, every single time I watch that, I get goosebumps.
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
It's so powerful. It really is. And, the number one takeaway, though, boy, do they ever get a large audience for the Weather Channel they have out there in Kansas. And they show all these people, nuns, and they show people on an airplane all watching at the same time. But anyway, have heard a lot as you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand. I love that. And so I'll show you. That was really great. So what are your general thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first time I watched it, I was totally sucked into the screen. I mean, it totally captured my imagination. I think the music too, for me, music's a big deal with cinema. Like it has that drone, like kind of a thing.
And it drives you. It's driving you to like a crescendo,
It is super dramatic, and it definitely plays on like the fear factor a little bit, which can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. But as a dramatization of Disclosure Day itself, I mean, I felt like it really hit the nail on the head. And I think, Martin, last I checked, it had 14 million views, just the trailer? Or is this a teaser? Like, what is it up to now? 20?
I think it's over 20 million views. I mean, that's incredible. Awesome. Broke the record for Avatar. That's
okay, sure.
That's those one of the things there, but it kind of keeps you. They're not showing any aliens here. They're not showing any craft or anything like that. It's just all what you get from just the outside, just watching and, and the keyword disclosure, I think it was very, very sharp to go in that direction. And
100%.
Yeah. And the other phrase I love at the end is the, nun saying, why would he create such a vast universe? And then it skips to the end, for only us, or something like that.
And yet save it only for us. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's got such power. I just can't wait to see it. And it's going to be a major movie in the summer. And, we just recently had Age of Disclosure.
Yeah.
So it's like on people's minds because that one had such a, that was such a big hit on Amazon right away. And I think I don't know if it's going to move us as far as real disclosure in any type of way, but it's definitely going to get a lot of people thinking.
Absolutely. If your trailer's yielding 20 million plus views, I mean, that's a great thing for the UFO community, for experiencers who have seen things that aren't planes, helicopters, drones, birds, whatever, and it falls into that other category, like myself and you. I think it's a really big deal to help get all the normies on board with what's going on. It'll help frame it in a way like, oh, if this was real, is this what it would look like if someone were to make an announcement? So I just think it's nice that he's kind of putting it all together, albeit in a fictional kind of framework. But I'm curious to see what vision he had for the film and what the outcome will be within the film itself. And I think it's always interesting to see what kind of quotes you pull from the same source that I watch as well. You had mentioned you just wouldn't understand. I thought that was a really interesting thing that you plucked out, along with the religious figure in the trailer too, with that secondary quote that you pulled. But there's a third I wanted to bring up too, Martin. It was it was shown in maybe in the beginning of the trailer. The quote is, people have a right to know. 7 billion people deserve to know the truth. So like he's really touching on, for everybody in the UFO community. I mean, you can absolutely make the argument that Spielberg is pulling on and tugging on all of those UFO heartstrings that we all have so close and near and dear to how we've researched the topic and things like that over the years. So I just think it's going to be fantastic, and I am super excited for it, and I think it's a really good thing. So I'm curious to see if he pulls on the threat narrative at all. I know Ross Coulthart brought that up on his show a couple days ago. I'm curious to see if it's like an entire like doom and gloom, like, oh my God, the aliens, we're all going to die, they're going to eat us for lunch or whatever. Like, I hope it doesn't go in that direction, but yeah, and there were some other subtle things too, Martin. I don't know if you noticed in the trailer, like there was a lot of play with nature in that trailer.
Yes.
Like the bird
coming in and the elk and the deer. Yeah.
And then you had the guy hooked up with his head with the wires up to the machine. And then somehow he's telepathically maybe controlling another human with the hands and everything who's not connected to the machine. Seemed like they were kind of playing on the psionics a little bit there with like a machine assist. And then you also have the religious and faith elements, which also plays a role with the UFO topic. So it's got, within that short little trailer, it really hit on all of I felt like some of the major things that you would think of if disclosure ever were to be a reality. What do you think?
One thing lacking from that, you don't see any government, any government officials. You see police coming in. You wonder what that's about. Maybe to stop someone talking or whatever.
The chase,
But also the clicking, the verbal clicking, and that was, boy, is that ever effective? Whatever that is. And I think, I have heard of someone talking about something like that. Now, I don't know. I can't think of any particular case that, a lot of times people will say if they have some type of, encounter that they are feeling more telepathic. When they say teaser, that's exactly what it is, because it makes you want to know more. I want to know more what it's about than just what we saw. You think of the huge movies that Spielberg has had, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T., War of the Worlds, Jaws. I don't know which one. I would imagine it's probably E.T. maybe his biggest of movies. I don't know. Maybe Jaws is. There's probably an easy way to find that out. But, this could be right up there. This could be the big one.
Yep, absolutely. And I hope it does. I hope it takes his number one slot in his huge body of work that he has. I feel like it certainly has the potential now that the trailer's been released and now that you've seen the public's response, at least on the internet with the view count. I mean, that's a huge deal. So I think it'll be a really big deal. And I hope it gets his number one slot in terms of the rest of the body of work that he's done as a filmmaker and creator himself. So I'm just glad he was the one to do it. I feel like who else would you want, I mean, to really get the message out there, knowing that it's a real phenomenon, it's a real thing and it's happening and pilots are seeing it all the time. And I just think how lucky are we to say that Steven Spielberg, is putting this out and adding to the momentum that the community has been building over so many years, specifically, relating back to the 2019 news article that came out, even beyond that. So I just think it's wild times for the UFO community. Absolutely. And what a great way to end the year with this trailer. And I think it's going to be really great for 2026. I'm pumped. Can't wait to get my popcorn and sit down and watch it.
That's right. And, you mentioned earlier the music in there, and it would be a shame not to see this in the theater because of their sound systems. I mean, that makes it so much more impactful than watching it on your TV, even if you have a great system. So thank you so much. Thank you for your ideas and thoughts on this. And thank you for wearing your Podcast UFO hat.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
All right. And we'll be back with other things like this. But again, everyone, thanks for watching. And remember to keep your eyes to the sky.